going into this game, LaShawn McCoy had given some advice to Saquon, and Saquon said that he was going to lean on the equipment guy who was the same equipment guy for Shady and Snowball 1 in 2013. But if you want an absolutely wild stat comparison, if you somehow missed this, which I can't imagine many of you did, but if you did miss this, here's the breakdown between McCoy and Saquon in Snowball 1 versus Snowball 2. And I have to tell you, I knew the stats would be close. I didn't think they were going to be this close. Shady versus the Lions in 2013, 30 touches, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns. Saquon on Sunday against the Rams, 28 touches, so 2 fewer, 223 total yards, 2 more, 2 touchdowns, the same. We all go back to that Shady game and say that's probably the best game of his career, certainly the most memorable one. And Saquon outdid him. I mean, not by much, but technically outdid him. It's just crazy to think about how many times Saquon Barkley has gone far beyond any kind of, you don't want to talk about like regular expectations, exceeding your expectations. I don't think we have enough words that are of a superlative enough nature to take you to like what exactly Saquon Barkley has been for this team. He's just like, he doesn't feel human. And then I want to get to this as well, because you might have missed this. You might have missed what he said, but Saquon, before he blows this play open, and it looks like there's a community note on it, but I don't care. I'm going to spread fake news if it benefits the narrative. Right before Saquon busts open that touchdown late in the game against the Rams, he lines up next to Jalen Hurts, and I'm going to show this to you, and you're going to tell me what you think it says. And you're going to tell me what you think he was asking. But just pay attention here. He looks. What did he ask there? Or what did he say there? Because the interpretation that was going around last night was that perhaps he said, "Watch this." Is that what he said? I don't know. But he's smiling. He's smiling at Jalen right before the snap. They made an adjustment pre-snap. And all of a sudden, Saquon Barkley finds himself rushing to the end zone. Now, is this just something that's going to live in folklore? Is it something that isn't actually true? I don't know. Now, there are people who are saying that Barkley was just asking Hurts if he was lined up on the wrong side of the ball. That didn't look like enough words to ask if he's on the wrong side of the ball. Now, it comes back to this because Saquon was asked about that play post-game. We're going to credit John Clark on the video here. But this is Saquon Barkley talking about what he saw on that play and what ultimately led him to be able to find the end zone. Here, let's go over to Saquon Barkley, and he'll explain about the wrong side thing. Here we go.
A couple times this year you've told your lineman, hey, just one more, and we're going to rip one off. Did you tell something to Jalen Hurts right before he handed it off to you on that play, 78-yarder?
You talk about the second one?
Second one, yeah.
I think I was on the wrong side, but we don't got to have that part of the story. It worked out pretty well, though. That was the conversation that we're having back there.
So did you ask him if you're on the?
We checked it, and I was like, am I supposed to switch? He was like, no, I can't say what he said because it gives a good way to play. And I was like, wasn't quite sure, and it just worked.
Listen, we all saw the clip. We all saw the zoom in. I don't think that community notes is right. I really don't. It sure as shit looked like he either said, watch this or I got this. It did not look like he said, hey, Jalen, just out of curiosity, am I lined up on the wrong side of the ball here? Because just based on the play, I'm pretty sure I'm lined up on the wrong side. Can you just clarify that for me? It didn't look like that many words. It certainly looked like he said, watch this or I got this. Either way, it doesn't matter. Saquon Barkley goes for a massive touchdown. One that I thought blew the game wide open. And then we had to have some of those nervy moments late in the game. But it was a pretty cool moment, so if you missed it, there you go. We've now been filled in. Now I'm going to go back to one other thing about Saquon because I always love to go back and check in on takes that media had going into the season, takes that media had during the season, takes that media will have leading up to the game, because obviously we know on Wednesday and on Friday shows, I will try to aggregate some of the either the best or the dumbest takes that are going out there in the national media punditry and some local. But I want to take you back to preseason because when the Eagles made the signing of Saquon Barkley, not everybody was a huge fan because everyone seemed to kind of go back to, oh, you're investing a lot of money in the running back position, a position that most people had been ready to kind of move on from because it wasn't as impactful as it used to be. Well, we've heard from this guy a lot on this show. I just want to take you back to what Nick Wright had to say about the Saquon Barkley signing right after it happened.
Philly spending this money on Saquon is such a misuse of resources. It's just so crazy. Philly fell apart last year because their defense was terrible. Signing the most expensive running back on the market is just bad business. It is your friend who has a car that breaks down all the time because it needs a new transmission, and you see him, and all of a sudden he has brand new rims on it. He's like, look at that! It's like, yeah, man, but it looks cool, and those are nice, and Saquon's a good player, but that's not what was killing you last year. Philly spent.
Now, there is a little bit of truth in what he said, and the truth in what he said is that the defense last year is what really did fall apart. He was right about that, and I will be fair. In the offseason, I said I thought Howie Roseman really screwed up by not addressing linebacker because I said Nakobe Dean has never been able to stay healthy, which he was through the regular season. Unfortunately, he was lost last week, but we love Nakobe Dean. We love Nakobe Dean. Zach Bond, not a single soul thought was going to turn into an all-pro. No one. Nary a human being in the Eagles organization believed he was going to be an all-pro. So, there was some truth to, maybe the Eagles didn't do a good enough job of addressing the defense. And again, no one ever expects the Cooper DeJeans and the Quinyon Mitchells to look like 5th or 6th year starters instead of rookies. No one expected that either. So, the reacquisition of CJGJ certainly helped in the secondary. Very much so. He noted on Twitter, by the way, his 3rd straight conference championship game. Good on him. He brought the swagger back to the defense. But Nick Wright, the line about the rims. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. You know what? Maybe he was right because Saquon Barkley showed you on both of those massive touchdown runs. The man's got some wheels. Just trying to help out Nick Wright just a little bit.